Imagine getting ready to travel, packing your bags, all preparations, necessary things to do, everything done, and getting to the airport on the day of your departure, and you're told you cannot travel, you cannot fly today. What are you going to do? That was exactly what happened to me. When I was relocating to the UK on the day of my departure, I was supposed to travel on a Sunday. I had already booked my flight, made all necessary arrangements, packed my bag, said my farewells, and it was time to go. I got to the airport in good time. It wasn't a question of getting there late. That was not the issue. I got there and it was time to check in, and I was told I could not check in. Before then, I had already tried to check in online. It was showing that I cannot check in online. I have to get to the airport. So I was like, okay, fine. When I get to the airport, I'll check in and, get it done at the airport. Only to get there and be told I cannot travel. You can't fly. When I said my location is not just a change of location for me, it's a journey of faith. It's a journey of resilience. And I thank God. This is one aspect of my testimony. I'll still share more on my journey and how everything went. So for the airline, I was told that when I was doing the flight, my sister made the payment for me. Okay, so she used a card. She made the payment on my behalf using her card. And in all honesty, I saw a pop-up message that I would need to show the card at the airport, but for whatever reason, probably tension or excitement, I wouldn't know. I didn't really pay attention to that pop-up message, and it cost me a lot. Trust me when I tell you, it cost me a lot. So when I got to the airport, I was told that they actually have to see that card, like the physical card. They have to cite it before I'll be cleared to fly. And my sister lives in the United Kingdom already. So I asked, okay. In fact, the lady that attended to me first, she was like, that's it, nothing can be done. Next person. I felt dejected, but this journey has taught me to be strong. I now have this mindset of, if anything happens, the next thing I'm thinking is, how do I get through? What can I do? I am now solution oriented. If I'm in any situation, the next thing I'm thinking of is solution. Unlike my former self, right there and then at that airport, I would just start crying like, you know how long I have waited for this, anticipated for this, and you just tell me off like that. You can't fly, and that is it. Really? But I've just learned to be strong. The next thing I was thinking, okay, what's the solution? What is next? What can I do? So I started asking questions. What can I do? I met one of the airport staff. He was like, oh, you talk to them over the counter, whatever they say to you, that is it. Okay. I went to the guy that was supposed to check me in. He was like, oh, I referred you to the people in charge of ticket, whatever they say to you, that is it. I said, okay, so where do I go from here? How do I proceed? I just kept on moving around, parabolating around the counter area until I got to speak to the next guy, to the lady I spoke to initially, that just dismissed me, that was it. So I I was asking the guy that, okay, can I reschedule my flight? If I cannot go today, can I reschedule? So he was now like, yes, you can reschedule. Okay, I was like, at what cost? Because at that point, so so I was like, at what cost? He said no cost. So it was the guy that now took time to explain to me that I should just get across to my sister. She should get to Heathrow and go to the airlines what is it called, their stand at the Heathrow airport, and present the card. Once she does that, I'll be cleared to fly. So I communicated with my sister. She was like, okay, she'll get to the airport and do that. But of course, the airline I was following, they had only one flight from Lagos to Heathrow, London for that day. So, and my sister's house is like 2 hours drive to the airport, like over an hour. I may not be up to 2 hours, but over an hour. So before she would drive and get there, I'm already way past the check-in time. In all of this, I was so calm, like Sometimes on this journey, I would just pat myself on the back like, girl, you're doing so well. This Sunday was one of those days. I was like, oh, darling, you're doing so well. I was, composed. I wasn't fidgeting. Not like I was not troubled or I was not unhappy about the situation, but I was just like getting myself worked up won't do anything to, alleviate the situation. It will only make it worse. So let me just pull myself together and see a way of, getting a solution to the issue on ground. And that was exactly what I did. After the guy took his time to explain to me, I called my sister. She said, okay, she was going to get to the airport. So we had no choice than to pack my bags. You know how devastating that can be when you're already at the airport and you don't have to pack your bag and turn back home. My husband, my kids, my mom, everybody that came with me to the airport, I was just like, well. My husband was like, don't worry. Tomorrow you'll be able to fly. So I packed my bags and we went back home for that Sunday. While my sister got to the airport, she did all the clearing and all of that. But believe you me, that Sunday night, I couldn't sleep. I barely slept because my concern was, I hope I won't get here tomorrow. And these people will start telling me you have to pay an extra fee to book you on the flight for Monday and all of that. I was really perturbed, but I took it in well. I just decided to trust God that everything will go well. My husband kept assuring me that don't worry, everything will go well. Tomorrow you'll be able to fly, don't worry. So on Monday we left the house earlier because Lagos traffic could be something else. We left the house very early. I think we left around 4:30 thereabout because my flight was for 9. So we left very early and we got to the airport in good time. And guess what? Thankfully, as I got to the counter, I met the same guy from yesterday. Okay, before I met him, I approached some other officer and was like, oh, your flight has not been cleared. You booked for yesterday, but you've not been cleared to fly today. So let's go. So luckily for me, it took me to that same guy that attended to me the previous day. So the guy was like, oh, madam, have you been able to sort it? I said, yes. My sister was there yesterday, so she was able to present her card, and they also asked for her ID, and that is said to they said okay. So he checked and was like, okay, there's no problem, because at that point you need to see my face was like I was trying to hold it in, to keep everything under control, but it wasn't easy. At that point I was tensed, I was perturbed. The man was like, relax, you're going to fly today, so don't worry. So I was like, thank God. So it was like the thing has been cleared, that the only thing is that they've not rebooked me for Monday flight, and he was going to do that right away. So he did that and gave me a clear pass. I checked in, and you will not imagine my joy at the point I checked in. But of course, more was ahead. The process. But I thank God I was able to check in, so I kind of like relaxed a bit that, okay, now I can check in, and it wasn't like yesterday that I had to return home. And guess what? Even on that Sunday when I returned home, we just got home, dropped our bags. My mom was like, let's go to church. It's Sunday. So we went to church. I still danced my dances because it was Thanksgiving Sunday. I danced, In fact, it was our January celebrant. It was our Thanksgiving too. So I danced. I was happy, though the issue was doing me like this, but I was still grateful to God. We got late to church, but we were in church. In fact, one of our January celebrants still called me that, sister, come, let's cut this cake together. We cut the cake. I was moving around with tray after service, sharing cake, not minding the challenge. That was on Sunday when we got back from the airport. I couldn't fly again that Sunday. We went to church. I was sharing cake, moving around, still playing, cheerful and all. And on Monday, I was cleared. I was able to fly. I was so happy, but there was more ahead, getting cleared at the port of entry is another listen. But thank God, all in all, I scaled through. At the port of entry, I was asked, of course, you get asked, answer series of questions. Why are you here? What are you here to do? You must be able to answer correctly. For everyone that is open to relocate, especially if you're coming in as a student, you must know these basic things. What are you here for? What are you studying? What course did you study in your first degree? Where will you be staying? you know, stuff like that, and you wear your smile and your confidence. I was able to scale through and I got in. My sister came to pick me at the airport, and it's been amazing being here. I was in school on Wednesday. I got my first lecture. I shared that too. I shared the video and it's been amazing. If you're new here, make sure you click on the subscribe button to subscribe so that you get to see on this channel. I talk about my personal experience. I talk about education. By the way, I'm studying Masters of Arts in Education. So I post a lot about education, about parenting and lifestyle, relocation, helpful tips, and what you need to know, the things that worked for me. I share all of this and my daily experiences and basically daily life vlog, and there's so much to learn here. So make sure you subscribe, click on the notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a video. I'll see you in my next one. Love you.